Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Let's Talk About the League podcast, the only podcast talking about the LCUS. And this week we are here with special guests Odin and Udge from Team Blitzkrieg. And as always, we're here with Sigtao. How are you guys doing?
I guess I'll talk first. I guess I'm doing fabulous. Let's excited to be on here.
I feel too much pressure to perform right now.
What about you, Udge? You happy to be here, or
I think Judge died.
Yep.
I think the anticipation killed him.
Yeah, I mean it's killing me. So I guess we'll just be
Much
moving on.
pressure.
Um, so week one's in the books. Um, Only two teams remain undefeated: Option 12 and Northern Storm. Um, yeah, the first set of games was Odin and Udge versus Northern Storm. How'd you guys feel about those games?
Well, it's obviously sucks coming away with both coming a loss here. The first game we kind of threw under miscommunication on a dumb tower dive, I think, and I think a lot of this right now is we're just trying to figure out how to play together, and unfortunately, we just couldn't come together in this game right away, and hopefully the bye week we can address that teamwork issue and then kind of figure out how each other plays and we come together as a better team next time we come into it.
Yeah, no, that first game was super close, back and forth the whole way. Really could have went either way. It's hard to see how good Northern Storm's actually going to be since they had two subs. Um, it's always hard to tell if the subs are better or worse, especially in the first week where teamwork isn't really there yet. And, you know. What about you, Sig? How'd you feel about those games?
Um, I very very close game one. Really, I'm interested. You had mentioned we really don't get much opportunity to. Sorry to salt the wound, but to really talk to the losers that much, especially with an impact like this. I mean, so close. I mean, I might be able to in like a few months be like, so here you lost this game. Tell me about it. But we actually get a little bit of a fresh wound right here. So with just to go ahead and stick my thumb in it, how do you try to improve your synergy at this point?
Oh yeah, so like right now it's we got a couple bunch of parts that haven't really as played together, and it's just kind of we really don't know each other's play styles yet. I know me and Udge have played quite a bit together, but him and being in a different role, and both of us have a bot lane that we've never played with, and it's just trying to figure out what champions work best with each other still. Like I don't feel the Ezreal provide the damage we needed towards later games. Because when we were running a tankier team comp, so I think maybe just trying to find the right parts for our play styles and trying to get the champions that help, I guess, benefit all of our play styles.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about Northern Storm? What do you think they really did well on that team? What do you think actually?
Um, I think what really benefited them the most was just the jungle pressure they were giving throughout the map. It really hurt our Cheney in the jungle. They had really good dragon control, and that is really snowballed them early. If you watch both those games, we were starting to out trade late game. I know, I guess I didn't realize it right away, but I was starting to out trade the Camille on Shen. I just didn't. I guess I was being a little bit too hesitant on my damage, and I should have probably influenced that more. And then game two, we were slowly starting to be able to trade again because we were starting to get to the point where we were getting tanky again, but we just never had the chance to. We were too far behind where were able to make the use of that, and we just I don't know that not kind of snowballing with that, not having a really good carry that can melt tanks super fast. Because unfortunately, Ezreal is not really. I don't think is really that great at doing that. We just didn't have that late game carry potential.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And we heard a beep in Discord. Udge, are you back with us?
I believe I am. Yeah, sorry, technical difficulties there.
Ah, that's okay. So, what were your thoughts on the first set of games?
Um, well, for sure, I think we had the first game actually was going in our favor for a large majority of it. It was just we made some crucial mistakes in the beginning of the game. I didn't think that we were necessarily playing bad. We didn't have a lot of lane pressure early in the game, and it kind of let them get a lot of early objectives, which kind of put us behind. But mid game, it kind of showed that we were able to at least keep up with them, and we made a couple good fights. Actually, looked like we were going to pull through for a little bit. It's just one or two bad team fights that turned the game around in their favor that really screwed us over in that first one. Whereas the second game, we kind of, I'm not going to lie, it was kind of just a classic, kind of just a steamroll in my opinion. A couple lanes got behind and we didn't really have a response to that. So, yeah.
Yeah, even in a league type setting, it's pretty hard to just stop a hard snowball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Risk reward. Next time they pull something like that out, it might not work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
And
very true.
it's kind of hard to wait for late game too when you don't have a damage comp that doesn't scale super hard in the late game.
Yeah. Second set was also a 2-0, but with option 12 versus White Wolf and option 12 taking a 2-0, similar to what they did last split. I know watching the games, White Wolf had a chance in most of those, especially game 2, but they ended up losing their lead a little bit. What did you guys think of those games?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't actually get a chance to watch those games. I was kind of after our games was kind of a bit more focused, communicating with our team and trying to plan for how we need to improve for the next coming weeks here. Unfortunately, so I didn't actually get a chance to check those out yet for those second rounds of matches.
Oh, that's okay. What about you, Sig?
White Wolf Gaming is always one of the best teams in the league to watch play. But during our preview, I believe the Prophet right here had called that if Lice is able to adapt with this new comp, and especially with the inside information he had versus White Wolf with EPH and Arcane Soda, if he was able to capitalize on that, they'd be heading to the championship again. And so far, I'm correct, and I'm holding to that. The whole team performed well, and Lice fit very well into that.
Definitely. It really makes you wonder if they're going to be missing the two players, myself and Shaden, from that team at all. But also, it's good to see the top laner from White Wolf still pulling out weird stuff.
That was
Not-
the Rammus game, wasn't it?
Yes, not really the best things to pull out of those situations, but just having being on slightly a new team, even though it's the same one. Still being willing to pull out stuff like Rammus and Aatrox in the top lane. It's good to see that they are willing to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that Rammus was probably the right call there.
No, Rammus
I
and
don't have-
Cho'Gath. Not.
Yeah, that does not seem like a great idea. And I don't know, I haven't played much Rammus, but he doesn't seem like the easiest champion to farm and lane on.
Yeah, that one probably wasn't a good call. For the third set, we actually had a split series, which we always love to see. Phoenix versus more Cowbell, going 1-1. The main thing I want to point out from this one is, much like washed up top laner, Cowbell has someone in the top lane playing hard carries. I think he played Irelia and Yasuo.
Oh, cancer.
Yes. Yeah.
Everyone's favorite.
So what did you guys, anyone that saw those games, think of them?
So yeah, I caught the Yasuo game. I think that one, yeah, they just let him snowball too hard, and they just were just letting him kind of run wild and not really keeping him locked down. Which is like the biggest thing when you go up against Yasuo, is you can't let them just do Yasuo things all game, because they're just gonna rip through teams. You need a hard engage on them and lock them down with CC and blow them up as fast as you can, and they just weren't really doing that.
Mm-hmm. The first game, Cowbell definitely made the mistake of letting Anivia through. It was first game of the split versus Hohenheim, and that probably will be the last time that we see Hohenheim playing Anivia as well. But no, Rammus in the second game in the jungle coming out from Team Phoenix definitely was able to screw up Yasuo a little bit, and we almost saw the classic solo queue Yasuo of getting caught out and split pushing a
Mhm.
little bit too much, but they managed to close
Yeah.
out the game, keep
Yeah.
things nice and close.
Personally, I think they should have known that Rammus has just literally had Rammus live in the top lane 24/7 and made Yasuo the most tilted person in the game.
Yeah, and Yasuo versus Yorick, also probably a pretty bad matchup for the
Yeah,
Yorick.
when you are, yeah, it's hard. It's hard when those tank champions when you can't get on top of a mobile champion like Yasuo who can just dash around. Yasuo can dash through Yorick's
His box, yeah,
box, yeah, which takes a lot of Yorick's power away,
definitely. You can't get the fights you actually want to have.
and especially Yorick's ult doesn't help too much when you're facing a carry top laner who can delete you fairly quickly, and you don't have that time for that ult to just drain you down.
hmm Yeah, that's the issue with not always getting counter pick, but
Hmm.
hey, can't always get counter pick. So if anyone else have anything from the first week?
As crazy as it sounds, we really haven't had a performance from a Yasuo in the LCUS, and he's a fun champ to watch. So I am glad to see the pick coming out.
For sure, it's good to see some more variety in picks and in
Mhm.
lanes. I'm sure this patch will have a lot of changes coming to the LCUS.
Transition of the year, folks.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Um, there's lots of changes to mages, and I think that will have a pretty big impact, given the fact that most of the mid laners in the LCUS play control wave clear mana pool mages. Um, yeah. Did you play mid lane? What do you think of these changes?
I think they're interesting. I do like the buffs on Ziggs.
He's one of my favorite champions and one of my go-tos. I think he absolutely did not need it, but I think it's a great little treat. I'm not gonna lie. As for the general like item changes on Lost Chapter and stuff and Thorn's Ring, um, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with the more expensive Lost Chapter. I mean, most mages I feel would rush it first, and I don't know. It was kind of a good sustain built into a lot of different things. So I thought it was a viable first back. And maybe they're just trying to increase the cost for whatever reason. But in general, I think I prefer mana regain over just max mana, anyways. So I am kind of a fan of these changes. It seems like most of these changes are for the mana regain versus max mana, which they try to get away from, I think, in previous patches. But it's nice to see that reverting back a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a really big change to Lost Chapter, um, having it to now be the cost of a BF sword. I know that as an AD carry player, most of the time, uh, having to wait for your 1300 gold is pretty crazy, and yeah, now that they made that up to 1300, it's pretty expensive to go back and just buy that on your first back. 11 was pretty reasonable, and now if you want to get Lost Chapter and tier, you have to wait till you get 2100 gold, which is a crazy amount of gold to have pretty early in the game. So that's a pretty big change up for all the people that were going Archangels. That along with the damage changes to Archangels, that's pretty nasty for people that are trying to rush that. Um, but no, I definitely think some of the changes are good ones. I expect to see
Oh.
a little bit more GLP, but I doubt that'll be too much.
I'm not the biggest fan
Unlikely.
of this Doran's ring change here. It's item I run a lot on Scion, and I think it's gonna really hurt his bullying in lane here, because one of the advantages of the Scion is ease. You can have insane poke, and then also killing the minion, give me that mana refund,
hmm So
which I think it's gonna really hurt his poking ability a bit.
yeah, the math wise, it actually gives a little bit more mana than it used to. The old the it get so now since you regen 1 mana every second and a wave comes every 30 seconds, you regain 30 mana a wave. Um, the main negative of it is that it doesn't give a base mana regen anymore bonus. I don't have the numbers in front of me right now to see that, but that's the main difference right there. Um, Also helps people that are bad at CSing.
I know I'm excited for it.
You build Doran's Ring a lot on support.
Uh, Sometimes, right, we'll make a mistake and I might end up in the mid lane. These things do happen, and
I just want to say, getting autofilled mid lane, it's like winning the lottery. It seems like.
well, I am the luckiest man on earth. But even besides that, when we look at the item, this definitely falls in line with the rest of the design choices they made with the other Doran's items.
Yeah, it's true. One other side note about the AP changes. They changed Soul Stealer so that you get bonus movement speed upon 10 stacks. So if you do ever get full stacks before, just full stacks before you upgrade your Dark Seal into Soul Stealer, you'll actually get that movement speed right away instead of having to then kill 2 more people to get the stacks. So that's pretty cool. I build Dark Seal a lot actually, like early in Soul and Fizz and Lux. So maybe I'll actually upgrade it into Soul Stealer now. Other changes. AP champions can do more damage to towers. That's cool. Nothing sucks more than trying to auto attack a tower as a Nivea.
And make no progress for
Yeah,
20 minutes.
It's like, don't worry, guys, just stay up there. I have this tower all to myself, and then the tower just doesn't die. So it's great times. What other changes do you guys see in this patch coming?
Top lane tanks, Mundo, Garen, a lot more survivability in that lane. So I think we might see some of that more coming in.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Look at Mundo. At level 3 ult, of course that's level 18, so it's pretty damn far into the game. You have 100% of your health regen, and that's not even counting other abilities or items like Spirit Visage, which then is 120% of your health. You can literally get any item with Grievous Wounds on it, and it'll just knock him down to where he was before, instead of like doing any difference to him. So that's pretty crazy.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, that's just, I don't know, it's just gonna be annoying. I don't see it being that big of an impact. I don't know. I don't think Muno is that great of a champion personally. He just doesn't really add much to, I think, team comps. That's why he doesn't really get played much. But I just feel like this is just gonna be one of those annoying picks where you're gonna see, and yeah, you'll end up struggling with it just because it's one of those champions that you never see anymore, and then you just forget how to play against it.
Yeah,
And yeah,
I think that I think us and Riot underestimate just how much damage he's able to put out. And now that when he really does run at you, if you don't have someone to help peel him off, his Qs do crazy damage.
yeah.
So that's gonna be great. Other changes. AD Kennen. Gotta get lucky. Doesn't play top lane anymore, but these are pretty crazy Kennen changes all around.
Yeah, maybe we'll try to pull out Jungle Kennen. If that's even viable.
Let's hope not. Please no.
Oh, you don't want a little electrical rat coming in to gank lanes with ult?
You heard it here first. Takes Lanterns playing Kennen jungle in the first game. Big Lux changes for me. As a Lux player, some cooldown reduced on her Q, and then her E has a pretty big radius and speed change, but also the mana decreased a little bit. That's a fun change, but I have to actually play on it to see what the difference is there. And then Unsealed Spellbook. I think that's one of the last ones. Sig, you were talking about that. How do you feel about that?
I like it. It's definitely much more forgiving. I think it will allow players to take on sealed spellbook and maybe make some more riskier choices, and not feel like you're trapped constantly waiting for that back. So I like it.
Did either of you guys look into what Unsealed Spellbook does yet?
Not so much. I guess I never really looked into it in the first place before it got changed because it's not one of those things I ever really used. In the top lane, it's not one of those abilities where I don't know, I feel like I get more benefit out of other abilities versus unskilled spellbook, so it's not something I really guys pay attention to. Yeah, I'm just trying to look at it right now here real quick, and
So, I think this is one of those situations where top lane might actually be able to take it now. So the way that it works is at 6 minutes, you're able to quote unquote swap a summoner spell. So let's say you start with teleport and flash, and at 6 minutes you're in lane, and you decide to take ignite instead of teleport. You're able to flash kill somebody with ignite, and then as soon as you use ignite, it turns back into teleport.
oh,
So you killed
That's-
them. You have your teleport still. You go back to base, and then you can TP wherever. Um, or let's say you got rid of your flash, and so then you didn't have to flash kill them. Now you have teleport flash still around, and you got the free kill. So then 4 minutes later, you're able to swap again. Um, so the main difference is that you can't use the same summoner spell 3 times in a row. So while you can use flash and teleport whenever they come up, you can't use ignite 3 times. You'd have to go like
Okay.
ignite, ghost, exhaust, or whatnot.
okay, yeah, I can definitely see certain champions running this.
hmm
Here come Trendemir top lane, level 3 engage ignite cheeses.
Yeah, think junglers. If there's any jungler
Oh.
that benefits from that, they can take ignite now, or they can take ghost flash.
Ooh.
Like you can
Yeah.
double gank somebody. You can flash gank them, or you can ghost gank them, and there you go.
Oh, yeah, I can see that being really helpful on like a champion like Hecarim, who typically in jungle sacrifices having flash for Ghost. Now
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's a little more of an escape and less punishing if he gets caught out early.
Definitely. Especially I think people that can keep ghost and swap to flash when they need it.
Hmm.
Of course, you can only do that about every 12 minutes. But
I mean-
that's not that much longer. Like that's only like 2 flashes.
Yeah.
So that's really not that bad. If you can go ghost Olaf, ghost Shyvana, ghost Hecarim, use that every 3 minutes, and then flash every 12 minutes. Not too bad. Skarner. All right, I'll stop. But no, that's a pretty interesting change. And if I ever played solo queue, I would practice that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that's more favorable than was it Conqueror right now, because that's just seems what everyone wants to be running is
Yeah,
Conqueror on every single champion on top lane. Doesn't matter who it is, it's
Yeah.
Conqueror.
yeah. Stuff like Vladimir and Ryze right now, who like the only keystone is to take is in Spilled Spellbook, will definitely benefit from this.
Mhm.
The last changes of the patch that are really big changes are Baron and Rift Herald changes. Rift Herald's pretty basic. It does more damage to towers, but it's easier to kill when it's owned by an opponent. So if you're able to poke the eye first, you can kill it really quickly. As for Baron, Baron has a lot more health and does a lot more AoE damage, but does a lot less single target damage. So hypothetically, it's easier to solo with a sustain champion. But like if it's 20 minutes and there's 3 of you trying to take it and you're squishy, it's not going to work out very well.
So I'm assuming they did that to try to prevent those early Baron takes after it was one big team fight
Yeah,
at 20 minutes.
yeah, definitely. Like it's one of those things where there's 3 or 4 people taking Baron and there's just one of you. You could probably
Mhm.
actually take him down. Anyone else have anything for the patch?
BMO.
So excited.
Oh God, I almost forgot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just when you thought there weren't any more exact same looking skins and aesthetics that they could apply to Teemo.
I just love how each chroma just makes it even better. Like they're all just so unique. It makes it look like a completely different skin with every chroma.
That actually is pretty cool. They have a ladybug. I like that.
Yep. And then they have a fly.
It's literally a money printing machine.
I like that. That's actually good. It's like the pizza silver.
Yeah.
That's good. Respect.
But more importantly, the better chromas are coming out this patch for Mecha Scion.
Yes, that's true too.
I've been asking for these ever since Mecha Scion first came out. Because I definitely think he will look better with different colors than the orange.
Oh, we totally get a star. We totally get a Starscream Scion.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
those are pretty good. There's a
He's gonna be
few.
the one. He's gonna be the one champion I get every Chroma for.
I don't know. I think you could skip a few of these, but
I need them all, Jared.
fair. My name's Ace, but that's no big deal. All right.
Whatever.
And with that, we will move on to the sponsor piece. And this episode of Let's Talk About the League is brought to you by The Simple Soyman. This local Milwaukee soy foods company has been around for 30 plus years and is happy to reach out and be part of the community. Once again, this episode is brought to you by The Simple Soyman. Go to any local health food store in the Milwaukee area and you'll likely find their products there. All right. Week 2. So, week 2 starts out with the 0-2 White Wolf Gaming versus the 1-1 Phoenix. How do you guys feel this is going to go?
Well, I think these games can all go either way. It's just every team just seems to be so far. I guess even though the teams are 2-0, I don't think anyone really stands out yet. And it'll be interesting how going into these games it's all depending on which team better analyzes the other's win condition and plays around it.
Mm-hmm. I think a big point of this is going to be around the jungle. Nebulon on Team Phoenix is regarded as probably the best jungler of the split so far. Well, pre-split rankings anyways. So it'll be interesting to see how he does versus the new jungler for White Wolf, Arcane Soda.
He was playing Udyr last week, right?
He played he played Rammus game 2. And I don't remember who he played game 1. Might have been Sejuani.
Okay. Getting my junglers mixed up here. Too many new faces.
Yeah, and then there's also the top lane matchup of this, which is going to be pretty interesting since we saw Swain and a Yorick come out of a Mai-Chan on Phoenix, and then of course versus Aatrox and Rammus, and they also run the White Wolf Gaming last split together as well. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any I'm going to say bad blood now with the role switch ups, if they are going to bring their A game or not.
Yeah, they'll be curious. It seems like both those top laners have really odd top lane champ pools. It'll be kind of hard to try to predict what they're gonna pull out top lane.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Van Hohenheim pulls out with these changes that are upcoming in the lane. It's going to have a heavy impact on him.
Yeah. I didn't see much that would impact Zoe, at least negatively. So it'd be interesting to see if he pulls out the Zoe again. Arj, anything you looking at in this first matchup?
So the Northern Storm is the one with Lizmatius, right? And Phoenix is with Hohenheim, right?
No, this is White Wolf that has Prime.
I'm thinking of a different game. Never mind. Then no, I have nothing to say.
All good. So set 2. Set 2 brings out the first set of games that Take the Lantern is going to have played this split versus Cowbell as well. Ace, who used to be on the team with Shaden, myself. That'll be an interesting matchup overall across the board. I'm just excited to play a set of games. What are you guys looking forward to for this match?
I'm curious to see who's gonna. I remember last split in the chat, you were doing a lot of work, but the chat was giving all that credit to Shaden down bot lanes. So I'm curious to see who's gonna do more work this game between you or him, and who's gonna carry their team, and who has the bigger impact.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really separate who had the bigger impact on your team last split when you guys are now separate, and just see who was the bigger factor and who can overcome the other.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to hop back on my hype train. Brandana, Mr. Pig, my boys. I'm excited to see the most synergist bot lane in the LCUS go up against this Take the Lantern because Andy AoE, I mean, split 1, the man was a machine. Literally a killing machine, taking no prisoners. There's still blood stains on my screen from his mid lane fights. So I'm pumped to see his debut on the bot side. And Greg, the best name in the LCUS, Gregosaurus Rex, just gonna be very exciting.
Yeah, Gregosaurus Rex plays some interesting stuff. So that's all I can say about that. But he might pull some fun stuff out. It'll also be interesting to see what Flay Matthews pulls out from Cowbell. I think he was the one that played the Udyr, and that'll be fun to see if he decides to do something like that too.
No, I'm pretty sure he played the Pantheon and the Nunu.
Uh,
All right,
that was Spicy Beam.
All crap.
That's okay. You tried. That's what counts.
Yeah, no, yeah, that Udyr, the assist king, but we'll see if he has anything other surprises to pull out against this week. I'm just excited to see a team who hasn't shown anything yet and see what they got to bring to the table.
Cool. Set 3, I think is the set of the week. The 2 undefeated teams, only one will come away like that. Unfortunately, they both can't lose. I mean, win. But hey, it's the team that hasn't played together yet of Northern Storm versus last split's champions, pretty much, of Option 12. I think it's going to come down a lot to just the whole team and how they synergize together.
Yeah,
I know I'm pretty pumped for this Lice Infinite matchup in the mid lane. I can't speak too much about Lice and his ability off mages, but I know that Infinite has a pretty deep assassin pool, so this patch might be the patch for him.
I know Liz likes to play. He likes to play a lot of Zillion and Anivia. So I think sometimes some of his champ pool can be pretty safe against assassin. So it should be interesting indeed.
yeah, definitely don't sleep on that Zillion played against the last split. It is incredibly annoying when you think you're about to win a fight and then all of a sudden Zillion pops ult and like, oh, hey, their carry's back alive again.
That ult denied me so many kills in lane. Anyways.
For real. No, he's getting up to Hohenheim status of needing to have target bans at him of multiple champions that you just can't let him get. Bot lanes, Menards versus Azaya and Poison Ivy, who we've yet to see on this team, versus Ashaway. So that'll be fun to see too, how those styles clash.
I'm definitely liking Option 12 this week in this matchup, just simply because they'll have that weak advantage of playing together already versus Northern Storm, who's got two new pieces that try to fit together, and all of a sudden you have an ADC with a completely different support that can just throw off that synergy altogether and give Option 12 that edge down bot lane.
Definitely. Can't sleep on Menards. Kid's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely ridiculous. He's stupid good. But I did get some inside information. I'm not going to share the pool with you, but I will tell you, Poison Ivy's been working on that. I think we're going to see some exciting play.
Yeah. Last split, I think she pulled out the Blitzcrank at least one game when she subbed in. So that'll be fun to see. And our guests are on bye week, so nothing too great to say about them in regards to week 2. But
Yep.
you guys are
Yep.
awesome. Thanks
Practice
for-
week. No.
Yeah. All right. If no one else has anything about week 2, we can move on to the quick Q&A since we're running a little bit over. So let's just start with the question on the number one complaint to Riot in Season 8, as per Reddit. Games feel like they're lost by the team with the worst player and just won by the team that makes the least amount of mistakes and doesn't have a bad player. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think this is true? Or do you think you're still able to solo carry? Or is it just all weakest link?
It depends on how weak that link is. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've all been in those games where you have that one person who just refuses to group and just keeps throwing their bodies into dumb situations, and all of a sudden you're just stuck constantly in 4v5 fights. And when you're now I guess you're already slightly behind, and you're trying to fight 45. You're just not going to come out on top, no matter how hard you're playing or how well you're going to play. If they're ahead and they're playing as fives, you're just going to get crushed in fights.
What do you think, Udge?
Well, it's probably just a little bit of Reddit being Reddit and complaining about bullshit, but I think there's some truth to it. I mean, sometimes you do have a weak player on your team, and they in turn can get lanes or a lane or multiple lanes ahead. But for that argument, then you have the other side. Like that team obviously has one or two people that are really good, and then are bringing their teams to win. So it kind of can go both ways, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that the meta can rotate. Yes. I agree, Macy. I think that the meta can rotate away from team fighting and definitely penalize teams that make mistakes with the single player. But I mean, I could not agree more that this is mainly Reddit. These were the same complaints that were voiced last year, the year before that. I mean, team too heavy, can't carry. Just that. There's always going to be an aspect of that. I mean, if we were the LCUS, the premier basketball league of Wisconsin, I think we'd be hearing the same thing.
Yeah, I definitely slightly agree with Reddit on this one, but it is a team game, so here we are. So besides, well, not losing, what's the most important thing to having a fun game of League? Let's start with Udge.
I don't know. Picking a good champion that you feel confident, and, you can have fun, and is really, really important. I don't know. Having a good team and good friends makes the game pretty enjoyable. I know a lot of times I find it difficult to just play by myself. Other than that, trying to make the other team rage quit is always a plus. So.
Fair. What about you, Sig?
My favorite thing about League of Legends is not including when a new champ launches, because it's miserable playing a new champion because everyone's still trying to sort it out and everyone's trying to lock it in. But anytime that the new champs rotate and you get them part of free week rotation, yeah, just one moment, baby. Sorry, folks, very popular man right now. I love playing champions I haven't played before, or even champions after a huge rework. So like Rise, every week it's a new experience.
Yeah. Personally, winning is a good feeling, but I just think that the most important part for League, I don't play solo ever. I always play with a friend, and as long as we're not getting stomped and we're able to just enjoy ourselves, as redundant as that is, that's what makes it fun.
So this leads me to a second question. Ace, what's it like being the only casual League player in the world? You're a mythical creature. Have you talked to Riot yet? Do they perform weekly experiments or something?
No, but they keep trying to nerf everything I play, so it doesn't make me want to play less casually. What about you, Odin?
Oh, so besides winning, just trying to do different fun things. I know me and Udge, when we solo queue a lot, we just try to do different weird builds or something, that just try to have fun with the game. There's times where I'll go top lane and just run a totally trolly build with crit strike Scion, and it's just you just have a bunch of laughs when you do stuff like that, and team may get a little mad at you, but at the same time, when it's not ranked, it's just a game. Just have fun with your builds and relax and enjoy the game.
Yeah, don't take it too seriously. And then the last question for this week, as we're reaching the 45-minute mark, is: do you think specialized gaming devices, mice, keyboard, monitor, chairs, can help you perform better in League of Legends? Do any of us have anything like that? Something like gaming mice, gaming keyboards, gaming chairs?
For At one point I was using one of the special Logitech keyboards, not anything like the whatever it's called, the Kraken or the Thunder, whatever, where it's one hand operated. I was using one of the full keyboards. I was using because I came to League from MMOs, so I was using a Naga at the time, optimized for MMOs. And I do have one of the Maxonomic chairs, and I can tell you without a doubt, the Naga held me back incredibly. The special gaming keyboard was 100% too much. And the best thing that I've ever done is go away from a gaming chair, which is super comfortable, to setting in something a little bit more mundane to keep me on my toes. That's my personal experience, but that again could be personal. Just knowing that I need to keep myself uncomfortable so I can focus. But it did not help me at all. At all.
Yeah. I agree with that completely. I've been using like $5 keyboard that I got when I built this computer 8 years ago. This whole time, I finally switched to a gaming mouse just because like the $2 one I was using broke, and honestly, these mouses have just cost me more trouble than they're worth. Like I'm on my third one when I used a $5 one for 6 years. But hey, I mean, if it works for you, it works for you, right? There's definitely something to be said about refresh rate on monitors being useful. I switched to the Naga as my first gaming mouse, and yeah, those buttons, man. I thought I'd just hotkey everything, and instead no. Odin, Udge, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could be just be. So I actually built a new computer this past fall, and I feel like I definitely noticed a slight difference in my playstyle switching to something a little bit more powerful. And then having a nicer mouse is definitely makes it the mouse movements a little bit smoother when you're playing. And then I guess I do like having those hotkeys inside my mouse. It makes it really nice to have laugh hotkeyed, and you can spam in game and just annoy the hell out of my teammates.
Yeah. Well,
know,
definitely computer speed. Is a thing.
Priorities.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I went from a 8-year-old desktop to something newer this past year, and I didn't even know League had these graphics, like the wind effects. That existed? What have I been missing my whole life? It's a whole new game.
Yeah, I know Alonzi always judges me for running my game at 80 frames per second. He's asking me, why do you run at 80? Just tell him, because I can.
Yeah, there are people running it at 260. It's, you do you, whatever helps you play better. Udge, anything to add on this one?
I have a nice computer, a nice mouse and a nice chair, and I'm still shitty at League, so I can't help that much. But I think the one thing that has helped the most is probably the mouse. Having those. I really like having my like active effects and my items on my thing on my mouse. So on my buttons on my mouse. So I think that's helped me at least use them more. So I would say to some aspects, yeah, it does help.
Definitely. There are, I think it's player specific. I know Ashaway uses one of the one-handed razor things. I think just Sig called it the Kraken or something like that.
Yeah, it's some silly like octopus or oceanic-based name.
Don't let Great Beard of Odin hear you say that. Yeah, and with that, we'll be wrapping it up for this episode. Again, this was Ace on the Let's Talk About the League podcast, joined by Sigtao, Udge, and Odin. Any closing words you guys want to say?
The best performance enhancer is HGH, and we still don't test for it in the league, so everybody have a good week.
Yeah, go steroids.
All right. Thank you guys very much. Wrapping up.
All right. Yep. Thanks.